So I had a lot to think about in regards to this Captain Marvel movie. After I watched it, yes, both me and Darren watched it last night. And if you have been watching any of my videos for it, Darren's been a little bit more on the optimistic end, and myself, I've been a little underwhelmed by the promotion with it. I liked the first trailer, the subsequent trailer and promotions, not a fan of. It kind of bored me and underwhelmed me. So after going into this theater, I took out all of my preconceived notions of what we were supposed to expect. I wanted to have fun with this movie, and I had low expectations. You know, there's a cloud of controversy regarding Brie Larson and her acting, and Brie Larson and her politics. You know, and I actually don't mind when people have their own set of beliefs and have strong opinions about them. Whether I agree with them or not is not. It has nothing to do with this movie. So getting into this movie. Just to answer the title of this video really quick, was it as bad as the trailers? I'm going to have to say no. Right off the bat, my overall thoughts of this movie, I enjoyed it. You know, I had fun watching it. Is it the perfect Marvel movie? No. Is it the perfect comic book movie? No. Is this something I would watch again? You know, maybe if it's at a party and it's the only thing that's on, I'll hang around and watch it with people. But I probably wouldn't watch it again. But you know, I'm not going into a crazy in-depth technical review about this. I'm just kind of talking about it with you guys. I did have fun watching this movie. You know, I went in with an open mind, not reading any comics in regards to not reading any comics that had Captain Marvel in it. So let's get into a little bit more details here. So I'm just gonna go off on some certain points here. So overall, I thought it was an okay and fitting introduction, I guess, to the Captain Marvel character, especially because it dropped on International Women's Day, and that was definitely no surprise. Brie Larson, you know, in the trailers, she was a little bit wooden in her acting, and you know, going to the trailer and seeing what this movie was kind of going to prepping us for, I already knew what was going to happen. You know, she lost her memory, so her character was probably going to grow and develop throughout the movie. And it did to an extent, and it also didn't, depending on your perspective. I thought her personality did start to come out more towards the third act after she begins to find things out, and it makes total sense. And that was something that I expected to happen. Brie Larson herself, you know, she didn't do anything mind-blowing. I know she's an Oscar she's an Oscar winner, and she's definitely a talented actor, but did it show through her performance as Captain Marvel? I don't really think so. I think there's probably a lot of people who could have done the same job as her in this movie. She didn't particularly stand out as a super powerful presence on screen. And again, I thought she was fitting. It was fitting. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the performance by her. I thought it was okay. It was nothing mind blowing or anything like that. Supporting cast, we had I believe, was it Maria Rambeau, the mother of Monica Rambeau? I think I'm saying those right. You know, they brought a little bit more heart into the story, and I did enjoy the little girl. I think Monica Rambeau, who's eventually going to be, I forget her name in the comics, but she's eventually, you know, a part of the Young Avengers. I think that dynamic right there was cool. It did add a little bit more heart, and it supported the story. It propped it up a little bit more because I cared for the character a little bit more, the character of Captain Marvel a little bit more after she got more people around her like that. Nick Fury, I thought he was great. You know, the digital, you know, the effects of this movie were actually really good in terms of what they were able to do with Nick Fury and Agent Coulson's, you know, the de-aging technology. I thought that was great. I couldn't tell at all. You know, if you really want to really look for it, I'm sure you can probably find some scenes, but couldn't tell. Ben Mendelsohn was great. The best performance in the movie, and that's probably something you've heard from other reviewers. And I gotta say, I love it when movies they throw a twist at you, and one that I really wasn't expecting to happen in this movie. I was expecting one of the twists. Well, actually, I guess this interconnected with the one big twist, but definitely, I don't want to give any spoilers right here. Ben Mendelsohn, I thought he was great as Talos, the Skrull. Jude Law seemed, I mean, he didn't have as big a role as I thought. I mean, his role was big, but he didn't have a ton of screen time, so he was good. I'm not sure if I'm missing anyone right now. The cat, everyone was talking about the cat. I'm not a cat person, so I didn't really care for the cat. It did some things that I didn't expect it to do, and it was whatever to me. But yeah, overall I enjoyed it. I liked the universe that they built. I feel like we didn't get enough of the universe. Hala, you know, you get a little bit of that introduction to this new world, a la Krypton, but definitely not as in depth. Definitely not as fleshed out. Or I should probably say Asgard. As it's the Marvel equivalent, I guess. But I did think that they had a good foundation there. What they didn't promote in the trailers so much is the space action. There was a lot of space action in this movie, and I thought that was a pretty cool aspect of it. So they should have focused more on that, at least in my opinion. But I did like that whole aspect. The Kree Skrulls, they didn't really get into depth on. We all know that there's a conflict between the Krees and Skrulls, but we didn't get a fully fleshed out story in regards to backstory in regards to why these two species hate each other and want to destroy each other. At least from what we're told, So, that's part of the things that I wanted more of, if anything. Now let's go and talk about the action. Action in this movie was not great. It was a nice looking movie. The effects were great. The action was not great. Whoever choreographed all the fight scenes did not do a very good job at all. And I know Brie Larson has the physicality for it because you see her doing the weight training, you see her getting ready for this role, and she was like pumping out a bunch of pull-ups and doing burpees and bear crawls and lifting, doing a bunch of Olympic lifts, and she looked the part, definitely looked the part, but the action was not great. Captain Marvel as a character is super OP, just like Superman is overpowered. So it's going to take some real clever storytelling to make an interesting story. As far as that, it did feel like two different types of movies. It felt like there was a 90s movie in there, a 90s kind of buddy cop movie for a while in there, and I actually enjoyed that between her and Sam Jackson. And then there was a space movie in there, and I actually enjoyed that too. So there's kind of two different movies in there. So overpowered character, it's really hard sometimes to make the action be done well, but they did nothing. They did nothing new, so it didn't surprise me what we saw. I was never mind blown. There was never a moment where I was like, my jaw dropped, kind of like, if I had to reference a recent Marvel film, there was never a moment like when Thor dropped down onto Wakanda. There was that scene where everyone cheered in the theater, So there was never that scene where Wonder Woman, saves Bruce Wayne with her gauntlets, from Doomsday. There was never those moments where the theater just clapped and, I watched it opening night, so there were a lot of people cheering, but there was just never one of those jaw-dropping moments for me. So, yeah, I was underwhelmed by the action. Overall, I think I enjoyed this movie. I think the biggest things that I did not like, and I didn't mention yet, is the fact that we get some answers to some questions we've had in regards to the Marvel Universe. For example, Nick Fury's eye. We were promised that. We're going to get an answer to why he, his eye, he has to wear the eye patch. We get an answer to, well, actually, I don't want to go into spoilers. We get answers to questions that we've had about the Marvel Universe. Questions that have been alluded to in previous movies, like as early as the first or second Iron Man. But the way that they're answered in this movie, they didn't do it for me. They were okay, but, if I was to be critical, it really wasn't done in the best way. So there's that. I enjoyed it, but Darren had much more of a positive outlook on the movie. So you know what? Because you guys think we're two different, or we're the same person, I just want to give this guy a little shine on this video. Let's go ahead and FaceTime Darren. And I never FaceTime at all. So let's go ahead and see what he has to say. Darren.
Oh God, I'm driving.
All right, so you're driving. You're driving right now. So Darren's driving right now, guys. Quick question, Darren. I want to ask you a few things. I'm doing the Captain Marvel review. I had some thoughts since last night. I still enjoyed it, but I'm not as positive about it as I was last night after thinking about a lot of things. But quick question. Quick question. Overall thoughts about this movie. Quick. Has to be less than 20 seconds.
Okay. A lot of missed opportunities, but it was still fun.
Okay.
I'm definitely digging Brie Larson's character.
Okay.
The trailers didn't do her justice. Just all I'm saying.
Trailers didn't do her justice. Good question. Oh, good answer. Okay. What did you think about Brie Larson's performance as a whole?
In terms of arc, I don't think she had a big arc in the movie. But I think it was just because she was like the Mary Sue.
Sure.
Right. She was powerful throughout the entire movie.
Yeah.
But the only arc was that she just embraced her human side at the very end, and I thought that was a good take. I think there's nothing wrong with that. I think it definitely builds more for what we're gonna see here in the game.
Yeah.
And I think the one thing that I have about the movie was that I was kind of like, I felt like it was a missed opportunity, was that we never really saw how powerful she could really be.
Okay.
We never see like the limit of her.
Okay, that leads me into my next question actually. What did you think about the action in this movie without any spoilers? We're doing non-spoilers.
Oh, sorry.
No, you didn't spoil anything.
The action was hella good.
You thought it was really good? Okay.
I thought it was really good, yeah.
Okay. So you like the action a lot. All right, and closing thoughts, I guess. Or if you had to give it a grade and your closing thoughts.
Okay.
Hey, let's go A, B, C. Let's go that route.
Well, okay. Closing thoughts. I went in this movie kind of disliking the trailers, and it came out of it like really inspired by what the message that it brought. And I definitely flipped a 180 on what Brie Larson could bring.
Okay.
And overall, I give this movie a 3.5 out of 5.
Okay. All right. 3.5 out of 5. Okay. Yeah. That's like what is that? A C plus? Okay. Yeah. All right. 3. We'll do it that way. Okay. Cool. Sounds good, man. All right. Drive safe. Why are you answering this call while you're driving?
Bernie's on the phone.
Okay. What's up, Bernie? All right. Later.
All right.
All right, there you guys have it. There's Darren's thoughts on the movie. So again, he was, I guess he was inspired by the message of the movie. And you know what I forgot to mention in this review is that, there was a lot of things going into this movie, a lot of talk about them forcing this, the SJWs forcing their narrative on us. And I never felt that at all, I never felt at any point that they were hitting us over the head with women are this powerful and women can do this. Women need to stand up. It never hits you over the head with that. So for all you guys that were worried about that, don't be worried. So Darren quite enjoyed it. Again, I enjoyed it. And I'm just, if I sound a little more negative, it's just going back and thinking about it and thinking about the how it affects the wider Marvel universe. I think it's like, man, some things could have been done well, and I actually thought Brie Larson was okay. She wasn't spectacular, but again, like Darren said, there was a lot of potential for the character, and we didn't fully get that yet. But I will say this: stay for at least the first end credit scene. I think the second end credit scene not worth staying for, at least in my opinion. But it's I guess if you want to, you might as well, right? So I did, but I wasn't. I wish I hadn't. But the first end credit scene is great. And yeah, that's my thoughts. Overall, Darren gave it a 3.5 out of 5. I'll give it a 3 out of 5. And it was enjoyable. Wait, 3 out of 5? No, I'll give it a 3 out of 5. It was okay. It was good. It was better than what I had expected. And maybe that affects how I graded it now, but that's what I'm giving it to you. That's what I'm giving it to the movie. That's what I'm giving to the movie. So let me know what you guys thought. Some of you guys already commented down below what you thought about the movie. And hey, I totally understand. A lot of people on this channel are not going to like this movie and already judged the movie before it came out. So if you have seen it, let me know what you thought. Did it kind of swing you, change your opinion like it did mine and Darren's? After seeing the trailers that we didn't like. So let me know what you guys thought about that in the comments below. Thank you guys for watching. Please hit that like button. It really helps the channel. Subscribe if you haven't already, and hit the subscribe button. I'm sorry, hit the bell for more notifications for videos like this. I will catch you guys later. Peace.
What is going on, everyone? Just as a reminder, me and Rob are going to start doing a schedule for our channel. So we're going to start posting Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays, and then we're going to post our viewer comments on Sunday. You're going to see our schedule right here. And yeah, so if you guys do post any comments throughout the week, or if you guys ask us a question on any of our social media platforms, we'll definitely post it on our Sunday video. So definitely look forward to that, and look forward to some more changes in the future. You guys have a good one.